on, Prabhu.
He's setting up something.
He's setting.
Can't you do it without sound so we don't have the echo there all the time? Yes. So today we want to dedicate this last program to the holy name. Very, very important topic. So can we just sit down? What's happening? How everybody's going out? Just come and sit down. Ashun, Ashun, Oshun. A little bit of the guy. Yes, so the holy name, such an important topic because this chanting is such a deep science and secret, actually. And this is one of my strong convictions that we don't take this chanting seriously enough. We take it very lightly and cheaply and just blabbering something around there, you know? I mean, now in the Western world, at least, on every street corner, we find a yoga and meditation place. And usually they're Mayavadis, most commonly. But we have to admit that they usually take their meditation more seriously than we do. Yeah. When they meditate, they lock the room and put a sign on the door, don't disturb, I'm meditating, and they, put on the Mayavadi music and they light the candle and they sit there and meditate, so they take it very seriously. What are we doing here? This is our meditation. Right? And our meditation is taking us to the topmost place, Govardhan, if we do it. But we are not taking it seriously. And yeah, as I mentioned, I do conduct holy name retreats. And it's a very powerful tool to attend these retreats regularly. Just take some time out, and the focus is all on the holy name. Nothing else is more important than the holy name for these 3 days. Usually I tell people, switch off your mobile phone for the 3 days. I do that too. I don't open my computer for the whole 3 days. Everything can wait till after that. And if you have that mood, you actually enter a different reality. It's very powerful. Usually when I come back from Mexico back to Mayapur, it takes me 2 days to settle back into Mayapur again. And I feel so separation from Eka Chakra. Can we avoid this noises all the time?
It is coming automatically, Mataji.
What? All the time? I mean, we didn't have that before.
Don't know about it.
So this is the first time that we did this. Yeah, so anyway, it's a very powerful tool, and you enter a different reality. The reality of my relationship with Krishna, with the Holy Name. Very powerful. And we actually should have that experience regularly, just to polish up our chanting habits, because our life is so fast, full of distractions, and we need to do this regularly, just to park everything. So holy name alone is everything. Very powerful. So yeah, let us begin by remembering that every activity we do very regularly, or even any relationship which we maintain very regularly, the danger is there for this over-familiarity to sneak in. Like married life, so easily we become over-familiar. Then this is my husband, this is my wife. and we say things to each other which we would never say to anybody else, but it's just fine. Yeah. So this overfamiliarity destroys everything. It basically means we lose respect and we take each other lightly and cheaply. So, and the same thing is also in activities, even like in big temples with fancy deity worship, very easily, if we are on the altar every morning doing the puja, that we can also take it lightly and cheaply, and it just becomes some routine thing. Okay, this, that, boom, boom, boom. We just go externally through the motions. But the heart is not even there. Even when we offer flowers for Prabhupada, Guru Puja, kept just come on, Yes,
Anybody mobile phone, Bluetooth is on. Bluetooth.
So, are we ready or what? So, can we go on?
Yes.
Yes. So, as we said, even when we offer flowers to Prabhupada, it can become a very mechanical, external, routine business. Just externally going through the motions. Okay, here, boom, finished. Yeah. So that's what we call overfamiliarity. And so hopefully we all change up every day, some rounds. So, and again, in our chanting japa, this overfamiliarity can also very easily enter. That we forget what we are doing, and it just becomes a mechanical routine thing. And the mood is, I have to finish these rounds. And then the joy comes from, oh, thank God I finished. Rather than from the chanting of the holy name. So, and obviously, such kind of chanting will not give much results. So now, I'm sure we have all heard that Krishna and the holy name, they are non-different, right? Yes. So this is not so easy to actually understand and realize. But Krishna extends himself into the material world by giving us his holy name. So that is quite an amazing thing, actually. Let me ask you, why do we chant? Why do we chant? Yes? To purify our heart. What are the answer?
We establish the relationship, our lost relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. To re-establish this lost and forgotten relationship, to reawaken this loving relationship with Krishna. That's why we chant purification and this and that. That's kind of the side effects. But the real reason is to reconnect. And that's why Krishna appears in the holy name. And through the holy name, we can reconnect with him. That's the whole thing. So, and basically, that means that Krishna and the holy name are not different. That means that by chanting, we can get exactly the same benefit as meeting Krishna face to face. That's what it means. Which, wow, is quite amazing, if we consider that. Because we all know how important association is. And if our guru comes or some sadhu comes, we are usually keen to associate, hopefully. Because we want to get some mercy, some merciful glance and. So what to speak of associating with Krishna himself? My God. So if we would announce here, Eldoret, tonight you can meet Krishna face to face, I'm sure every Hindu would come, even all of those from the other temples too. Nobody would want to miss out on meeting Krishna face to face. So, but obviously, we call upon Krishna to appear by chanting, but then it very much depends how we receive him. So let us imagine we invite our guru to come to our home for prasadam, and then when he comes, we turn our back to him, we ignore him, we have something more important to do. So that obviously would not be such a nice way to receive him. In fact, you can't even call it association with guru because we're not even giving him any intention, right? And we would not get much benefit from such kind of association. And in fact, we would maybe get some reactions for receiving him in an inappropriate and neglectful way, right? So, and that's exactly what happens when we chant as a word. We are not receiving Krishna in the appropriate way. So now I'm sure most of us know that there are 10 offenses to chanting, right? Many temples we recite them after Mangalati. So, and then we say there's also an 11th offense, which is, what's the 11th offense? Huh? What's the 11th offense? Nobody knows. What's it?
Inactive chanting.
Yes, to be inattentive while chanting. That's the 11th offense. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this inattentiveness while chanting is the root cause for all the other offenses. Yes. So even on our 3 full day holy name retreat with morning session, afternoon session for 3 days, we are just exploring what it means to be inattentive while chanting. You can talk about it for 3 days. Yes, there's a lot of things to explore and realize and experience. Yes. So because I'm the kind of person, I like to go to the roots of the problems. So if the inattentiveness is the root of the 10 offenses, so let's explore that. We don't even talk about the 10 offenses. We just talk about the inattentiveness. Yeah. So, and basically inattentiveness happens on 3 levels: body, mind, and what's the third one? Body, mind, and
Intellect.
body, mind, and
Environment.
Soul. Body, mind, and
mind,
soul.
part of the body we are talking. Heart. There we are. Just see how disconnected we are from the heart. We come with soul and then we come with intelligence and so many things, but the heart we forget. Yes. So body, mind, and heart. So let's have a quick look in attentiveness on the level of the body. It basically means we're doing something else while chanting. And the mood is, let's maximize my time. So, okay, I'm sitting on the train for 2 hours. my japa time. Or I have to drive for 2 hours. Oh, I can chant on the counter and no problem, my japa time. Anybody of you chants on the counter sometimes? Anybody? Lift your hand. Who is chanting on the counter? Sometimes. This counter chanting is the safest way to cultivate inattentive chanting. Throw it in the bin. There shouldn't even be sold at the temple. It's nonsense. You know? Clicking with his hand, that hand dirty. You don't even have to finish one round, you just click all day around. And then in the evening, you get the calculator out, divided by 108. Oh, so many rounds I've chanted. You know, I mean, no need. Yeah, so maximizing our time. Or sometimes people sit in the lecture at the furthest away corner. You know, the mood is, I want to be at the lecture, but I still got these rounds. So, okay, I'll hide in the back there and I'll hide and check them. You know, yeah, so this is all inattentiveness on the level of the body. You know. Or the other mood, inattentiveness on the level of the body is to pass this boring japa time in a more entertaining way. By looking at all different YouTube videos of Rath Yatra and this and that. And I mean, the other day, where was it? Where was it? Mombasa. You know, the session was bringing a whole turmoil, you know, and Prashad and people were talking. And one person was saying, God, I never heard these things. I've always been watching cricket while I'm chanting. You know, this was my japa time, watching cricket, you know, so it looks like I have to give this up now or what, you know. So, yeah, I mean, passing the boring japa time in a more entertaining way, watching cricket or watching something Krishna conscious, you know, some YouTube thing, or having a look at this darshan and that darshan. Let's have a look at how the deities look like in Vrindavan today and Mayapur and this and that. You know, and just distracting ourselves and entertaining ourselves, you know, so the japa time is not so boring. You know? Even japa walks depends on how much we have established that connection with Krishna. You know, Prabhupada, he could do anything while chanting because he lived in that reality. My relationship with Krishna, that was his reality. But when we go and look at the birds and the bees and all the nice view and this and that, you know, again, we try to pass the boring japa time in an entertaining way. And the list is long, you know, talking while chanting, you know, two people meet with their hand in the bead bag, and then while you say something, the other person chants, then the other person answers, and you squeeze some few mantras in. And if he gives a long answer, you can get rid of quite a few mantras there. But if it's a short answer, or what a shame, then I like that. It goes back and forwards, you know. Yeah, or shoveling things around in the kitchen with one hand in the bead bag, and you know, yeah. Or, well, what's the most distracting thing? Mobile phone. So we can say, oh, this is Krishna's Mahaprabhu's special arrangement for Kali Yuga, that we have this finger here, and we can still scroll up and down and send a few text messages there, and we can chant at the same time. I'm not losing my spot here. My God. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the phone is the main and foremost distraction. That's why I'm living without a phone. I told you already, I'm traveling the whole world without a phone. I don't want to have that in my life, you know. So a lot of people ask me, so how do you get anything done with a phone? Without a phone? I ask them, how do you get anything done with a phone? You know, I wouldn't get anything done. It's so distracting. People ringing, interrupting, and wanting to talk and all this stuff. Anyway, so then inattentiveness on the level of the mind. So mind likes to make plans, using the Japa time for a plan making session, planning the shopping list and the next preaching program and this little job there at work and the trip to India and who to marry and who not to marry and so many plans, you know. And often people say, whenever I chant, I get the best ideas. So they must be coming straight from Gologovinda. But sorry, no, it's the uncontrolled mind. You know. Or another thing, which we mentioned already in connection with the false ego, that the false ego uses the mind and we are contemplating in circles certain topics, going around and we just can't park them. And you know, this is always a sure sign that the false ego has us in its grips and is torturing us. Yes. So, and then inattentiveness on the level of the heart. That's, of course, the most crucial inattentiveness, because if the heart is not involved, not only in chanting, but in any service we do, if the heart is not involved, it will not transform the heart. But bhakti is all about transforming the heart. So, you know, the heart has to be involved in everything. Even when we clean or cook or whatever we do, the heart has to be involved, meaning we do things with our utmost effort and endeavor, wanting to please. Right? Or even hearing, the heart has to be involved, that we are not having any indifference. You know, okay, I'm sitting here, my time up, and I probably finish this so we get some prasada. You know, but no, there has to be some eagerness, some greed. Rupa Goswami tells us, William, that's what we need for bhakti, greed for Krishna. So we have to hear with greediness. Then the words go in one ear and they go to the heart and they do something. But if that greediness is not there, they go in one ear and out the other ear. They bypass the heart and they don't do anything to the heart. So heart has to be involved, you know, otherwise it will not transform the heart out of Krishna. And it's the same there in chanting. Heart has to be involved. So now what did Prabhupada say? He gave us a little analogy how we are meant to chant. What did he say? Most of us have. What did he say? How we should chant? Huh?
When chanting, we should hear the Holy. When chanting, we're supposed to hear the Holy.
We should hear, yes, but he gave us an analogy. We should chant like, yes, like a child crying in helplessness and desperation for his mother. That's how we're meant to chant. But are we chanting like this? No, we're not. Hakuna Matata. You know? No problem. You know, that's the mood in Kenya. Hakuna Matata and Hakuna Haraka. Yeah, I have to. That's a bit more. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. So I will take that with me. Yes, like in Australia, they have. Anybody's been to Australia? No. There, people always say same thing. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. You know, that's the standard thing. Every second sentence. No worries, mate. Mate, you understand? Mate, mate. No worries, mate. So with a no worries, mate, or with a Hakuna Matata attitude, you know, how can we cry out in helplessness? Not possible. Not possible. Yeah. That's the problem. And I mean, there is a powerful purport in the first canto, 8th chapter, verse, where Prabhupada says, a person who is situated in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. Great material satisfaction is dangerous for spiritual life. Yes. But aren't we always striving for material satisfaction? Yes, we do. But yeah, if a person is situated in great material satisfaction, so then it's Hakuna Matata. No problem. Everything is fine. My life is going according to my plans, and yes, no problem. Yeah. So then how can we be hopeless? And Prabhupada goes even further. He makes another strong statement. He says, therefore, the 4 principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, Gujarati family, or high good wealth, high education, or bodily beauty. There's, so to speak, disqualifications for progress on the path of bhakti. Because these 4 principles of material advancement easily lead to pride. Oh, I'm so wealthy. Oh, I'm so highly educated. PhD, professor, whatever. You know, oh, so beautiful. Oh, my family life, so aristocratic. You know, so immediately, as soon as we have some little opulence, we become proud, and then we can't call out in our business or cry out in. Yeah, so it's not bad for spiritual life to be in a more humble position, you know, not being so wealthy and highly educated. Not bad, not bad. Keeps us a bit more humble, hopefully. Of course, ultimately we can say we can use it all for Krishna. Yeah, we can, but the pride is there, you know. Yes, the false ego picks it up and enjoys that reputation of being somebody. We talked about it. Yes, so but another interesting point is that a child crying in helplessness for his mother does not have the problem of an uncontrolled mind. You know, the child doesn't say, oh, every time I'm crying for my mother, I'm thinking of so many things, what to play and where to play and with whom to play. No, child does not have that problem, right? Very simple and logical. So, and that gives us already some idea, you know, the solution to the wandering mind. It's to involve the heart. Because often we hear, what do we do when the mind wanders? The standard answer is pull it back in here, which is all very nice. It's a good start. But if we leave it at that, pull it back in here. So then the mind wanders, pull it back in here, wanders, pull it back in here. So you end up in a boxing match with the mind, and we will not win that boxing match. Mind is stronger. So that's why the real solution is to involve the heart, to scratch together some feelings of sincerity and helplessness and calling out for Krishna. Yes. Like Govinda Maharaj was saying, that an ISKCON center or temple is a crying school where we learn to cry out to Krishna. Yes. So we've got something here. So let's learn to cry out to Krishna. That's what it's there for. Not to have some big fancy thing there. What's the use of that if there's no crying out for Krishna happening here? You know, that's the whole purpose. Yes. So, and if we want to cry out for Krishna or to Krishna, the very first step is that we are mindful that Krishna is there at all, right? Actually, this is the first step in developing any relationship, that we have to be mindful of the person's presence in our life, even in married life, family life, or in the ashram. You know, if you just ignore each other and you're in your bubble there, you know, and you're not even attentive to that there is a person next to you who's got some needs and desires and feelings and all that, you know, then yeah, no deeper relationship will develop, right? Because we are not even mindful of the person's presence. Yeah, so now I do want to do with you a little chanting exercise. Even if you didn't bring your beat, no need to jump up now and run to your and get your beat. If you have your beats, and you can do it on the beat. If not, you can just chant. Either you can count on the fingers, but if you don't know that, you just chant without counting. So I would like, hang on, no shoveling around. I first have to tell you what the exercise is. So I would like that we chant all one round. Everybody at their own speed, because we all have different speed and rhythm. I don't like this mission chanting so much. Because I'm a very slow chanter. I need 10 minutes for one round, so you may finish before me. You also let me finish my round. So we want to chant one round and really try to deeply within our heart, mindfully turning to Krishna, feelingly calling out to him, longing for the relationship. You know, really longing, please, Krishna, please accept me. I need you, I want you. Because who do we think we are that Krishna so easily accepts us? It's not such a cheap thing to go like a Madonna, my God, and enter Krishna's, you know, personal pastimes there. So there has to be some greed, some intensity there, you know, some begging, some longing. So, and we want to try that. Mindfully turning to Krishna, feelingly appealing to him, longing for the relationship and begging him to please accept us. Okay? So let us try. One round. Cheers. And yes, also we can hang on while you're running off. Just come and sit down and do the exercise. Huh? I said already, no need for the beats. Just sit down and chant. You know, the beats, yes or no, doesn't matter. Just chant, right? And it's also helpful to close our eyes, because the eyes are the sense perception which is most distracting, looking at this, looking at that. So if we close our eyes, we are less distracted, we can focus more on the sound. Prabhupada was saying we should hear ourselves chant sincerely. Right? That's stickers. Stickers, stickers. stickers, 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 So, how did you go? Was it easy? Hmm? Did you think it was easy? No, it's not. I'm glad you say no. If you would say yes, I would say, well, what are you doing in the material world then? If it's so easy. No, it's not easy at all because we are in such a habit of forgetfulness of Krishna. You know? That just joining ISKCON and wearing tilak and maybe even being initiated doesn't really mean anything actually. You know, it's a deep thing in the heart there. We actually can completely cut out Krishna out of the picture in our so-called Krishna consciousness. You know, that we're just running, busy, so not stable, so big ambitions and projects and collecting and you know, but hey, what are we doing for Krishna here, for my relationship with Krishna? You know? So that's what we do when we chant. But if we don't even turn to Krishna mindfully when we chant, oh well, then we don't do anything. That's what I think with Krishna. So for many, this exercise is a real eye-opener because they realize, oh my God, I have been ignoring Krishna. Yes. Now in Harinam Chintamani, the book Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if we chant without mindfully turning to Krishna and feelingly appealing to him, then we are not even doing the real thing. It's like a reflection, a shadow of the Holy. We can't even call it chanting the Holy Name, actually. Yeah. So you imagine, I give you the reflection of a plate of prasadam. Here, look in the mirror, there, see, yeah, take it, enjoy it. The same, so it would not be very enjoyable and satisfying, right? So in this reflection of the Holy Name, also it does not give any satisfaction at all. So now His Holiness Satchinandan Swami, he came up with another little analogy. He said this kind of chanting where we don't mindfully turn to Krishna. This is like taking an empty medicine capsule. So not tablet, but capsule, and of course a vegetarian capsule without gelatin. So, and you can actually open the capsule, and usually there's something inside, but well, it can also be empty. So, empty capsule, no effect. Yeah. So, this chanting without mindfully turning to Krishna and trying at least, endeavoring to really connect with him, to beg him, to long for the relationship. If this is not there, it's empty capsule. Yes, let's be clear in this. So on the absolute platform of developing my relationship with Krishna, no effect. We can chant for many, many lifetimes, and bhakti will not develop. The connection will not develop. We may get, some pious benefits. We may be relieved from all the reactions to our sinful activities, but if we are into bhakti, we don't care about that. We want bhakti. That's what we said. We chant to reawaken the connection. That's why we chant. But if we chant without turning to Krishna, without even being mindful that he's there and trying to give him some attention, that will not do anything for the relationship. Very simple, very clear, very logical, right? But if we try, we can just imagine if every day 2.5 hours, whatever it takes to chant around, we actually trying to endeavor to turn to Krishna mindfully and calling out to him, naturally something will happen in that relationship, right? Logical. It will become tangible reality. But if we're just laboring something down mechanically, just to finish the rounds and get them out of the way, empty capsule for sure. Yeah. And I mean, on these holy name retreats in Ekachakra, I had Prabhupada disciples there. And some of them were sharing at the final sharing session with tears in their eyes, that they realized, my God, I haven't even started chanting yet. For the last 45 years, I did something else. Just blabbering something mindlessly down. I haven't even started yet. Yes, that such realizations people get. I remember once we were outside Bangalore. We were renting some conference center, and we had a holy name retreat there for the ISKCON temples from Bangalore. And there was some senior devotees there. They were 25 years or something in the movement, or maybe longer, 30. And some of them even almost got a little angry, when they heard empty capsule. Why didn't anybody tell me this for 30 years? Now I only hear this after 30 years. What is this? They were really upset. Yes, they felt cheated. I had to calm them down. Well, better late than never. And we've had so many lives in this material world and we didn't hear about it. So now we know, yeah. So also sharing about my humble self. The first 20 years of my 40 years in Krishna consciousness, definitely empty capsule. I never heard anything about it. Nobody was talking about these things in the early days. There was even no holy name retreats, no kirtan melas, nothing. All these things only came relatively recently. Yeah, so that's why I do like to have these holy name retreats, because I'm hoping that I can save a few years of devotees' lives there, by bringing up this topic, especially when young devotees start with their Krishna consciousness. They should right from the beginning hear about the empty capsule. Yes, you have to train devotees right from the beginning how to chant, and not only put the whole emphasis on the numbers, the externals. This is what we always do. Big building, so many rounds, big numbers. It's all the external stuff. But rather always asking how many rounds, oh, you should change 16 rounds. Better to ask, well, what kind of capsules are you taking? Empty ones, full ones? There's also a poisonous capsule available on the market of the holy name here, but we don't have time to get into that. Yeah, so it's a big topic, because interestingly, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we all come on the level of Namabas, which is the clearing stage of change. Because when we come to Krishna consciousness, we are in all sincerity, we are trying this chanting, you know, that's Namabas. Even if people, you know, my father here started every email with Hare Krishna, that's Namabas. Because he, in all respect, is saying the holy name, that's Namabas. Even unknowingly chanting, it's Namabas. Namabas has many different levels, so it's the lowest level of Namabas. So, but then we have two choices. We either go down to Nam Aparat, or we stay in Namabas and work our way up to Shuddhanam, pure chanting. And most of us take the option number one, we go down to Nam Aparat. Because once we hear about the chanting, about the holy, then it's not good enough just to casually chant and, oh, it's Namabas. No, then we have some knowledge. And then if we develop all these bad chanting habits, that's Nam Aparat. And to work our way out of this Nam Aparat is so much effort, you know, to give up all the bad habits and reintroduce good habits. It's so much effort. But if we would train our devotees right from the beginning how to chant, you know, then we could just stay in Namabas and work our way up. Yes. So that's the situation. And maybe one last little thing. Because the mind likes to wander, we can give the mind a little frame in which to wander. And we can do that by not, you know, appealing to Krishna for the whole japa time. But we can, for example, this is what I personally do. I start with Lord Nrsimhadev. To beg him to, you know, uproot the little Hiranyakashipu there in the heart, you know, thoughts, ego, envy, all these things, controlling, and they were Hiranyakashipus. So he actually, Nrsimhadev prepares our heart to approach Radha Krishna one day. Yeah, that's why in Mayapur we first greet Lord Nrsimhadev. Then we go over to Panchatattva, get their mercy. And only then we go over to Radha Madhava. So there's a reason. It's not by chance or something. But first, Lord Nrsimhadev has to cleanse our heart, and we have to beg him, we have to cry out to him. We talked about it in the ending session, the 5 steps. Yes. So, you know, I usually go first to Lord Nrsimhadev. So, and then we can go to Krishna, we can go to Prabhupada, begging him. If we are a little connected, for that we have to know a little bit about Prabhupada's amazing qualities and pastimes. You know, there's these nice videos following Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you have the flash thing, right? For the videos about following Srila Prabhupada. Yes. So please have some Prabhupada nights where you watch them on a big screen and you talk about them. Just to get a little closer to Prabhupada. You know, we have to be connected to Prabhupada. We have to make some effort to develop this relationship with Prabhupada. So if we're a little connected with Prabhupada, he's a little close to us, then we can also call out to Prabhupada, beg him for some mercy, some guidance, some drop of how he sacrificed himself, how he was chanting so deeply, and we can go to our Guru Maharaj, of course, or any sadhu we feel inspired by, we can beg him, or we can be a little more connected, we can beg Radharani, that she gives us the mercy. She actually has to introduce us to Krishna. There's the statement that if Radharani introduces and says, here, Krishna, this devotee is so nice, then Krishna will accept us, no matter how foolish we may be. It's a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. Even if we are fool number one, but if somehow or other we get Radharani's mercy, and she, shows us to Krishna, then he will accept. So we can allow ourselves to wander and mix a whole cocktail there together of addressing this person, addressing that person, and especially Guru Prabhupada, we will realize that this is a little easier because they're a little closer. Krishna may be still a little too remote for us. And then also visual helps can be good. I have favorite pictures on my computer, which I sometimes look at, or some beautiful paintings, some BBT paintings where you can really enter the things. Yeah, so these things can be helpful, So whatever works for us, it's also an individual thing, but for whatever works for us to really appeal mindfully to any of these personalities. Oh, Krishna. Bit of both. Nishingadeva. Good to start with Lord Nishingadeva. We've got quite a bit of stuff there to remove, Yes. All right, so time is really up. Do we have maybe just one or two quick questions? Or maybe let me share this also, just not to confuse anybody, because sometimes people say, but didn't Prabhupada say we should chant 24 hours a day while shopping and this and that? So, but now we hear, no, we shouldn't. So what is this now? So our fixed number of rounds, no matter how many it may be, 1, 2, 5, 10, 16, whatever. Those fixed number of rounds we should chant with undivided attention. And anything else is extra chanting. And no need to count the extra chanting. Unless we say, okay, Kodashi, I chant 25 rounds. So if that's our fixed number, okay, let's count them, of course. But the other rounds which we chant extra while we do this and that and the other thing, no need to count them, because otherwise very easily we cheat ourselves and we say, actually, I've chanted already, 5 rounds while I was driving to work or whatever. So that can just be extra. We can sing or chant, whatever. And of course, in Kirtan, there's also an empty capsule. Right? Yes. Kirtan, we're meant to call out in helplessness, connecting. So if the Kirtan leader doesn't do that, it's just nice music, empty capsule, nothing more than that. Will not do anything. Actually, all these things are in the fourth ego. There's a whole chapter on chanting. There's the empty capsule and the full capsule, and also the poisonous capsule in Japa, in Kirtan. It's all in the fourth ego. All right, well, maybe we'll finish at that. I think we talked enough to have some food for thought there. So I want to take the opportunity to thank you very much for allowing me to visit you here in Eldoret. And yeah, I hope I was able to serve you a little bit and give you some new insights and inspirations. And some of you ordered the books. So yes, please go through them. I'm sure you will find a lot of practical good things. We can even discuss them maybe and read in groups, house program or something. And actually systematic, because each book is a 15-hour course. So you can go through them systematically and educate yourselves a bit, because you don't have so many charismatic preachers here in Eldoret who can give you some nourishment. So and I'm not saying that I'm such an amazing preacher, but there is quite a few good things there, and it's all based on Prabhupada and so on. That can give some deeper insights and systematic training, because they're all very systematic. So I hope you will take advantage of this. There are many temples all around the world, they use these books for training devotees. I'm not saying that out of false ego. So as you see today, I didn't even bother bringing them because I think you've all seen them. But if there's still somebody who left it to the last minute, oh, you can come up to me and we'll see on the list. Okay, so thank you once again, and I wish you all the very best for your onward devotional journey. And yes, come to the Holy Name Retreat in Echo Chakra. That would be worth a trip. Because who's been to Echo Chakra here? Anybody's been to? But yeah, we stayed there for 4 nights. And I am even offering it on donation basis. I never ask anybody for any money for anything. So, but I'm giving people a little hint how much it costs, because the first retreats I had to subsidize myself, because people have no clue how much things cost. So it comes to only about 3,500, which is peanuts. It's nothing. For the bus, there and back, and 4 nights in the guest house, some nice prasadam. Yes. 3,500 rupees, this is not easy, right? So it's very, very level. It's less than the set of books. It's always over Christmas. This year it's 24th to 28th of December. It always varies a little bit depending how Christmas falls, because I always include the weekend over Christmas, because in India it's also a holiday. People often take some leave, school holiday. So quite a few people from India come. It's a very mixed crowd from Russia, from India, from Ukraine, from US, from Eastern Europe, Western Europe. South Africa we had last year. I had a few people from Kenya in the past. Rupanuga Prabhu, he told me he came once in 2018 or something. And Rasa Sundaru, Mataji, she came once also some years ago. So it's a nice experience. So yeah, it would be a great India is completed. So it would be a great pleasure for me. So we see you in the chakra one day. So my God. It is audible to everyone. Roger, thank you very much. Special thanks to Her Grace Devika Devi Dasi and giving us precious time and enlightening session. Really, it is very, very wonderful. And I think everybody taking your heart. Yes. And we are so fortunate. We are getting the association of a great devotee.
and how it is the essence of the holy name. We are getting easily, but so that we have no care, we have no value for that. So when we associate with these great devotees, we can understand the true value. We can understand the true value of a human life. We can understand what's supposed to do, what's supposed to go. That is okay. We cannot read back on our life. But now, like Mataji told, oh, I was 40 years in Islam, but I don't know how to chant. What is surprising? But how much gone, that is okay. But when we are now, better having a jump sahe wahi sabera. When we wake up, that in the morning. So we can start chanting properly in a loving mood, in an approaching way, in a crying way, so that Krishna is in our heart. We can reciprocate this. Thank you, Mataji, for your nice and lovely class. Really, we are appreciated. And we are so grateful to you. On behalf of Mr. Elder and all the audience, we chant once in Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. After the completion of the session, 7 day session, you can see in England, it is so pleased. And you all of us, take one photo once more, come here. You come here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.